Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Walt DisneyLandorus. Hope you've been enjoying your stay this far. Hope you've been having a good time, and hope you're staying safe. This is week number 6 of the IBA Season 4. Week number 6, we are taking on MetaMech, coach of the Miami Heatrans. So if you guys are excited for today's Wi-Fi battle, please hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new here. And with that, let's talk about what's going on. So currently, it is 2:37 on Sunday morning. So I already know this is late. I apologize. But dude, so much is going on this week. I had work a couple days this week. I had school stuff this week, and then when I played Meta, I didn't edit the battle immediately afterwards, which I probably should have, but I didn't. So yeah. And then this week, I ended up upgrading my computer, and we ended up switching my stuff over to an SSD. But in doing so, we wiped my computer just because I had so much crap on it, and there was stuff that wasn't working. Like, it's a long story. Long story short, I needed Adobe Illustrator for school, but because I had an illegal version of Photoshop before, Adobe couldn't download it properly because there were cracked files on my computer and it couldn't do things correctly. I don't know. All I know is that Illustrator couldn't download legally because I had an illegal version of Photoshop. So we ended up wiping my computer, and then me not thinking about, hey, I have uploads that are on my drive, ended up wiping my file. And I didn't have my battle file. So literally last night, I messaged Meta. I'm like, hey, is there any chance you can send me your battle footage? And he's like, yeah, no problem. So shouts to Meta for being a goat and actually saving me, because I actually didn't have an upload until he sent me the video. So shouts to him. But he records in a battle layout, and his layout is not in proper dimensions, so I can't just stretch it across the screen. So this is the best we're doing. I have this really scuffed ass background. This shit looks like some shit from like 2014. I made it literally in 5 minutes in Photoshop. I was too lazy to make something actual, and I was gonna use the BBL layout just for this week, but I don't have that downloaded on my computer either. And Liv deleted the BBL graphics folder, so I can't get that either. And Owen didn't have the battle layout downloaded, so we're just rocking out with this scuffed ass battle layout, with this whole scuffed ass video, with this, yeah, everything's just scuffed this week. So shouts to Meta though for coming in a goat, because without him I wouldn't even have an upload. So yeah, you guys can see on the screen, we are bringing from my side, we are bringing a Cosmic Power Mew, which is just 6-0's meta. He doesn't have a dark type on his roster. We have a Banded Urshifu. We have a Fizdef Tangrowth for the Kartana. We have a Spadef Licky for things like Tapu Lele and Noivern. We have a offensive Swampert. He actually got kind of fucked up by offensive Swampert. We are 4 attacks, no rocks on Swampert, and then we have a just a standard Cinderace with Flare Blitz, Super Fang, U-Turn, and I believe we have Court Change. We are kind of a more support Cinderace because we needed a Revenge Killer to Kartana, because we realized if he was SD speed boosting, Tangrowth got 1v1'd and it was just not good. So I have a little script on the side, so I know what I did this game. I just finished rewatching it and I wrote down a little script. So yeah, you guys can see on his team he decided to bring Tapu Lele, Kartana, Noivern, Arcanine, Rotom Fan, and Lantern. The only thing he didn't bring that I was kind of shocked about was the Hippowdon. I was really expecting Hippowdon to come, but I guess I don't really know why I was expecting it to come, other than it's just annoying and sets up rocks. But other than that, I just wasn't expecting Rotom too much, but the other 5 I was pretty confident were coming. So I decided to leave with my Swampert, because it matches up pretty well against 4 out of his 6, as it matches up well against Arcanine, Rotom, Lantern, and I can live any hit from Noivern. I can live any hit from Lele as long as it's not Energy Ball or Specs Psychic, and I didn't expect him to lead Kartana. You guys can see obviously on your screen that he is leading with Kartana, which kind of gets my ass. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't actually listen to his thought process. I sped this up in Premiere and then just went to record this, so I'm still gonna go check out his side. You guys should go as well, as it was a pretty good battle from his end, and he is currently, I believe he is currently 5-0. Yeah, we're on week 6, so he's currently 5-0. So he is obviously a very solid player. I scouted him. He is definitely a solid player, and he definitely knows what he's doing. And definitely one of the harder hitters in the IBA this season for sure. So definitely got our work cut out for us, but I think we have the team to do it. So good luck, fun to MetaMech. And yeah, so we're gonna leave a Swampert. And as you guys saw, he leveled Kartana. So this is just an easy switch into Tangrowth for me. I know he's clicking Knockoff here. I know he's not clicking Leaf Blade, but I have no reason to overpredict and lose my Swampert's item. Also, I'm Rocky Helmet on Tangrowth specifically for Knockoff, just because I can punish that one turn, and then that Knockoff is doing less damage. He turn 1 crits me, so that's fun. As now, I'm going to overplay turn 2. I expected him to know that Tangrowth got Focus Blast, and I thought he would expect the Focus Blast and know he dies to it. So I knock here. Hindsight, didn't need to do that. I should have just Focus Blasted. Based off the damage, I knew he wasn't any boosting item or anything like that. I should have just Focus Blasted, got my damage, see what his response to Tangrowth was, knowing it was probably going to be Arcanine, and knowing that I didn't have rocks, I didn't need to get rid of Arcanine's boots that badly, so Focus Blast damage was absolutely free, but now I just look like an idiot, and now I'm in range of Smart Strike, so I'm going to switch out here. I'm going to double my Cinderace, because I know Cinderace can take any hit. I don't mind losing my boots, as he doesn't have a rocker on his team, so I'm going to double in my Cinderace, as he doubles into his Noivern, not wanting to die to the Focus Blast, as I don't want to die to the Smart Strike, and I go to my Cinderace. I'm okay clicking U-turn here, as it gives me information on this Noivern. Unless he specs, he doesn't one-shot me, and we gain information on what his Noivern is, if he's more of an offensive or if he's more of a stall breaker set. He's going to Air Slash, and he's going to flinch my Cinderace. That's fucking annoying, because I lose all momentum I could have gained off of this turn with just U-turning, because I could have U-turned into something like Licky, thrown up a Wish, and got it into my Cinderace, or I could have gone something like Swampert and forced it up with an Ice Punch and got flip turn momentum. I could have done a couple of things here with the U-turn momentum, but unfortunately we're not going to get that. And now, this is a roll to kill me. He does reveal he's not specs. This is a roll to kill me though, and I'm confident he's going to click U-turn to gain momentum off of me not wanting to lose Noivern or Cinderace, but I decided to switch into Licky anyways, because I just can't risk that just yet, because Kartana is still alive, as he does U-turn into my Licky, and as I make the safe play, he opts to go Arcanine here. And going Arcanine screams either Toxic or Close Combat to me. So he's either some sort of offensive Arcanine with Close Combat, or he is Toxic, which is the more likely option. So he does finally have to go Arcanine, as I'm not going to risk my Licky getting Toxic. I do have Heal Bell on Licky, but I don't want to risk getting just severely damaged. I can go Swampert here, as he can never kill Swampert, and like I said, I do have Heal Bell, and Swampert at least gains the momentum, whereas Licky, I don't gain a whole lot by throwing up Wish just yet, because nothing's really damaged, and Swampert doesn't need the Wish, so Swampert being Toxic is fine. I can Heal Bell off that later, and I can force this out with a flip turn, as I'm not expecting a Water Absorb Lantern, so I'm going to flip turn, and the ball is slowly coming back into my court, as now I'm gaining momentum. I force him out, and now Kartana is coming in, and he is actually, let's see, where am I? I flip turn, he goes Kart. Yeah, I force him out with potential Earthquake, Liquidation, Swampert things. No rocks. If I had rocks, I would have set them up there. And now I'm just going to go into my Cinderace, and we're kind of going to repeat the process, because I force out his Kartana, as he's going to go back into his Arcanine. And we're going to kind of repeat the cycle of just me gaining momentum, forcing damage on this Kartana. But I'm actually not going to opt to continue this cycle, as he is going to reveal to be Rocky Helmet Arcanine, as you guys can see on your screen. He's going to reveal it to me, though, now with the Rocky Helmet off U-turn. That's really bad for me, but it is good to note that he's not Boots, except for the fact that I don't have rocks. So here, I'm actually deciding to go aggressive into Urshifu. And the reason I decided to go Urshifu here over Swampert is because Swampert gets me into the same cycle of things, but the cycle ends with me losing Cinderace, because how this cycle of turns just happened is I brought in Swampert on Arcanine, I flip turned on as he went Kartana, I went into Cinderace, and then he goes back into Arcanine just to chip me down with Rocky Helmet. And yeah, since every time I'm clicking U-turn, I'm taking that damage. I only have, I think, 3 turns left of clicking U-turn, and Kartana won't die in that time just from Swampert, so I decided to make the aggressive into Urshifu, because I don't actually need health on Urshifu, so I'm okay with taking the 3 Rocky Helmet hits. I'm not Life Orb this week, I am Choice Banded, and he has a Psychic type, a Flying type, a Grass type, and 2 Electric types, so I really don't need health on my Urshifu for any reason to take a hit in that sense. As you guys can see, everything on this team can blow my ass backwards in terms of dealing damage, so I'm okay with taking Rocky Helmet Chip to remove this Arcanine, or gain information about what his instant check to Urshifu is. I don't think he's going to be Water Absorb Lantern like I was saying before, because I think he needs to be Volt Absorb to help check Thundurus, which could have been a huge issue to his team if I was some sort of nasty plot Thundurus, especially against the team that he brought. I think Thundurus could have ran absolute train on him. He's going to find out I'm banded here, and he's going to see, obviously from the damage, that I am a very offensive choice band with against his Noivern, as this knocks him down to just under half. So Noivern is no longer a switch-in, as he's going to force me out with an Air Slash. Obviously, I don't want to sack my Urshifu. This thing does super well in punishing things like Arcanine, and even being faster than things like Rotom and Lantern. So I'm going to switch out back into my Licky just to take any hit, as he does U-turn again. Yeah, he U-turns into my Licky, and I'm expecting Arcanine again, but he's actually going to opt to go into, I believe he goes into Rotom Fan this turn. I know he's hovering over Cart. I believe he goes into Rotom Fan here, though, and this, to me, is screaming Trick Scarf, because I'm expecting Trick Scarf as a way to cripple Mew. I expect Meta to recognize that he doesn't have a Dark type, and some sort of setup Mew could actually be a huge threat to his team. Even if it's just something as simple as Calm Mind, 3 attacks or something like that. So I was really expecting Scarf Rotom. So I'm going to Protect here to scout for the trick, but he's actually going to sub and reveal his sub plot to me. This is the exact opposite of what I was expecting. I was very thrown off when he clicked sub, because I also wasn't worried, because offensive Rotom, it sub breaks by Body Slam every time. So I'm okay just clicking Body Slam here as he plots, because he can't beat me 1v1. As he can never set up in my face. So he's going to Nasty Plot as I Body Slam, and he's going to reveal to be very, very Fizz Def Rotom. I'm talking max HP with a shit ton of defense investment, as that didn't break sub. That means he's very, very bulky Rotom, which is very shocking to me, because he needs speed to outspeed certain things on my team, but he also needs that special attack investment with the Nasty Plot to kill benchmarks, things like Swampert and Licky. So we can find out if he is more speed invested for offensive threats, or if he is just like max HP, a lot of defense with the rest in special attack to try and get as much damage off as possible. And depending on the damage he does to Licky here, I can find that out, and I can opt to play around this accordingly. So I'm going to Body Slam again, as it does break sub every time. He is faster, so he can't sub, predicting me to break it. So I'm just going to Body Slam here, as he does go for the Discharge, and that is super fucking annoying. Yeah, he's going to Discharge, and he's going to get the Para, which is super fucking annoying. Based on this damage, though, he is more of an offensive set, so he is lacking speed. At least from what I can see, he is lacking a little bit of speed. As well as special attack, obviously from the defenses. So he should, if he did put the rest in special attack, though, that does look about right, just assuming numbers. So he is lacking speed, so things like Urshifu will easily outspeed him. I don't have to worry about miscreeping, or even like Swampert might be able to outspeed him and break through him, because I do have a lot of speed in my Swampert as well. So he does get the Para, though, and cripples Licky. This is okay in the sense that it's Licky, because I can heal Bella's off, but Licky loses so much momentum having to Cleric support himself up. So it's really bad. So here I know he's going to what's it called? He's going to sub. It's very obvious. I don't break his sub, so I'm actually going to switch into Swampert here, as Swampert can take a +2 Air Slash, and even with max HP, max defense Rotom, because I am offensive, max attack, Adamant, Mystic, Water, Swampert, Flip Turn will always break this sub, so I can get the momentum into my Urshifu and force another kill, and I can either kill this Rotom, force a shit ton of damage on the Lantern, or force kill the Noivern, as he chips me down. I break his sub with Flip Turn, and I can bring in my Urshifu. He obviously won't come even close to outspeeding me. I did outspeed a max speed Rotom, but even if I miscreep somehow, we do outspeed and force him out, because he is a very bulky Rotom. This shit 100% kills, because we are twice banded. And at this point, I'm super confident I'm claiming a kill. Nothing can come in. I'm really not expecting Water Absorb Lantern, but he's going to go into Lantern. I'm expecting to do about 40%, but it actually does 0, as he does reveal to be Water Absorb Lantern. This threw me off. This threw me off. Not like my momentum, but this does throw me off a lot, as I was really not expecting this Water Absorb. As I've really lost my momentum with Urshifu now, claiming a kill. But he can't kill my Swampert here. Swampert is a very free switch, as he can't kill me with Scald, and since I'm already poisoned from the Arcanine earlier, him clicking Toxic isn't going to affect me, obviously. So I'm okay in that front, as I get a little bit of positioning back. So right now here, though, I need to make a play, because right now my Swampert's about to die, my Cinderace is at half, and I'm not in a great position to really set up how I need to win the game. The only thing I have going for me right now is I have about a minute on him on timer. So here, I'm confident, like, he's revealed Water Absorb, right? So I'm confident he needs this for Urshifu. His Noivern is in range of dying to another hit. His Kartana cannot take a Surging Strikes. His Rotom, dead. Arcanine, dead. Lele, dead. He needs to keep this for the Urshifu. So I'm confident he's going into something that resists Earthquake. Mostly, probably his Noivern or his Rotom. So I'm going to make the aggressive play here, and I'm going to click Ice Punch, expecting him to go into one of his ground immunities. Just because if he lets me Earthquake this Pokemon, Urshifu wins the game with close combat on the spot. But he does opt to Scald me, not kill me, and then takes the Ice Punch like a champ, obviously because it's Lantern, and I'm going to die to Toxic here. This completely threw me off, and I didn't really agree with this play. I still don't. I'm not going to call it a bad play, but I'm not going to agree with it either. And that's just me. So this does give me a chance to bring in Tangrowth, though, as I can get more a new round of regen off, and I can get Leech Seed Recovery on whatever wants to come in for absolutely free. Obviously, he's forced out because Giga Drain's going to nuke him, and like I just said, he needs this for Urshifu. So there's no way he's going to risk it twice in a row, as he goes into Kartana on my Leech Seed. And I'm perfectly okay with this, because this is my check to you. So, like, I don't care. I don't care that you're here. So this turn, I'm just going to Focus Blast. I want this Kartana dead, as Kartana dying lets me sack Tangrowth and Cinderace more freely to things like Noivern, because I don't need them to check the Kartana anymore. But I miss Focus Blast, and that is a huge miss for me, because he sets up a Tailwind, and this becomes immediately scary, because he sets up Tailwind, so now I'm thinking he's going to go into Lele, and he's going to be Life Orb or Specs, and he's going to start claiming his kills, and I need to sack pieces. And if he preserves his Kartana and goes hard into Lele onto my Focus Blast, I need to sack multiple things to this Lele just to get rid of Tailwind. So if this sequence happens again, I lose the game, because I need to keep Tangrowth if this Kartana's alive. Cinderace can die, because I know he's not offensive Kartana anymore, because he had that Tailwind, obviously, but Tangrowth has to stay alive. Swampert's already dead, so those are two pieces already gone. Cinderace being sacked is a third piece, so that means I have to sack either Mew, Urshifu, or what's the other thing I have on this team? Or Licky down the line, which are all really important pieces. So that Focus Blast is super, super, super bad for me. And now I'm freaking out because I'm scared he's going to go hard Lele. I'm freaking out he's going to go hard Lele. So I can't knock here because I won't kill the Kartana if he stays in. If I Focus Blast, he goes hard Lele, he gets in for literally free. So I opt to go for Giga Drain here as it's the most middle ground play. As if he Smart Strikes, I can Giga Drain, and the little bit of recovery I'll gain off of doing damage to Kartana, I'll be able to live another Smart Strike. And I'm confident he doesn't have X Scissor at this point. If he had X Scissor, he would have clicked it already. So he's going to Smart Strike, I'm going to chew it, I'm going to Giga Drain, and this will put me out of range of another one. And I don't think Giga Drain kills here. It's just too close. So I'm going to opt to Focus Blast, try and get rid of this thing. If he makes a Lele play here, good play. But I need to Focus Blast and get rid of this Kartana. As he does go into the Noivern, I miss. Not like it matters, but he is... he would have been lower, and it would have forced him to. I'm expecting a Roost here at some point. As you guys saw on the screen, he doesn't have Roost, but I was expecting him to Roost at some point. Here, if he had Roost, he was clicking it. He had no reason to not click Roost here. So... missing that Focus Blast, I guess, kind of sucked in the sense that, like, it's just more chip on Noivern because he doesn't have Roost. I'm going to go Winnie here, as it's my best check to this thing, as he does go for an Air Slash. This reveals me he doesn't have Roost. If he had Roost, he would have went for it, which also scares me in the sense that I don't know his full moveset now. Because he's revealed U-Turn and Air Slash, he could be Draco Toxic, he could be Flamethrower, he could be... He could have a lot of different things, but... him not having Roost opens up a move slot, which actually concerns me, because if he does have Toxic, that really struggles with my Mew in finding a setup opportunity. So here though, we need Licky to break through and kind of get ourselves in a good position here. So I'm going to wish in hopes that I break through, but he is going to paralyze me once, which is super bad, but we do obviously have another. But now we are playing with hacks, because if I get paralyzed on either of these next two turns, Licky's dead. He's going to Air Slash, and I'm going to get paralyzed again. If I got the Wish up here, I would have had to get the Protect off to collect my Wish and live the next Air Slash. If I gotten the first one off, then I lived the hit regardless, and then I got back to full. That could have let me Heal Bell, not risk Para Hacks, and then Wish up again and been in an amazing spot. But he gets a second Para. So based on the damage he's been doing before, though, I will live another Air Slash if I get my Protect off here. So I'm going to opt to Protect. If I can Protect this turn, I'll live another Air Slash next turn. And then I can potentially go for another Wish, and then hopefully get no Para 2 turns in a row and keep my Licky around, which is obviously what I have to go for. So I do get the Protect off. He's going to Air Slash, and he is going to paralyze me once again. Licky is now dead. Even if I protect here, I'm still in range of dying to another. So I'm just going to sack off Licky. By the way, he hasn't missed Air Slash yet, just in case anyone's counting at home. He hasn't missed Air Slash yet, so Licky's going to go down. No justice for Licky. As here, I need to go for game. Like I was just talking about, if he has Toxic on Noivern, he wins the game, and I have no outs. I severely underprep for Noivern. Hindsight, I didn't bring anything faster than it, and everything I did bring either dies to it or can't kill it, i.e. Cinderace. Although in hindsight, if I hit that Focus Blast, maybe he would have been in range of Flare Blitz. Maybe, but that's stretching a lot of things, so that's just stretching things for me to complain about. So I need to go for game with Mew here, though. We are Cosmic Power, Stored Power Mew, like I was saying before. If he has Toxic on Noivern, he wins the game, and I have no outs either way, so I need to just bank on the fact that he doesn't have Toxic. And as you guys have been seeing from his perspective, he doesn't have Toxic on Noivern, so this turn is actually going to be the perfect turn to put me back into the game. Because right now I'm sitting in check, but right now I'm going to go from check to an amazing spot as he U-turns, and he's going to go into Lantern. This couldn't have gone any better. If he had made an aggressive into Kartana, I was in a super bad spot. If he made an aggressive into Lele, I was in a super bad spot. But he makes the play in the Lantern, playing it safe, and this is super good for me as this is setup fodder. We do have Taunt to prevent things like Hippowdon from whirlwinding us and Toxicking Lantern from Toxicking us, and Arcanine. So we do Taunt, and now this is a free +2, and this thing really can't do anything to us. If he Scald Burns us, that's even better for me because then he can't burn me. If he Discharge Pairs me, I don't know what to say. So I'm going to get to +2 here as he is going to Volt Switch, and that does absolutely 0. So right now we are sitting absolutely beautiful as he goes into the Kartana that should have been dead. If Kartana died, then there was no way he could have won this game, at least from where I was sitting. I don't think he could have won the game fight the Focus Blast earlier, as he's going to set up a Tailwind here, as I'm going to set up to, or no, I'm going to Soft Boiled here. And the reason I'm thinking so much is because I'm debating if I want to Soft Boiled or if I just want to kill this thing off. I decided to Soft Boiled because after he knocks me off and I Soft Boiled, he's doing like 20% to me at best. So I can actually set up to +3. I can set up to where I need to guarantee 2-hit KO everything on his team, so that way I don't need to get to +6. I think I need to get to +4 to guarantee 2-hit KO everything on his team, barring Lele, who I 1v1 anyways. So I'm perfectly content setting up, or I'm perfectly content soft boiling off any damage he wants to go for here, and then getting to +3 or +4, as this actually works out for me as he Tailwinds. He clicks Tailwind here, and this instantly shows me all his cards. His plan here, which was very smart, well played on his part, was to set up Tailwind and then switch into Arcanine or Lantern to outspeed me and get the Toxic off. So my play here is to spam Taunt. Like I was saying, Knockoff isn't going to do a whole lot of damage to me. He can't risk losing his Kartana, as he needs it for Tailwind. I need to spam Taunt. The only way he could have got around Mew is if he it's essentially Sucker Punch Mind Games. If he knocked me off and then switched into Arcanine, I think he would have had me, and I would have been in a very, very, very bad spot. But I might have been able to bring things back, but he would have been in a good spot. But I do catch him on the taunt. I'm taunting again, so he can't make this switch into Lantern. As he does, I'm making sure he cannot get these plays correct, so that way my Mew can stay untoxic. He has to full switch here. I'm going to set up a Cosmic Power here, as I'm not punished for doing so. Because since Tailwind wears off this turn, I'm not punished for setting up again. If he Volt Switches, it does like 3%. He actually makes a play into Rotom though, which is a play I was not expecting, but he's just going to sack this thing off. But he is going to go for a Discharge Para, which Para is worse than getting burned, but it's better than being toxic, because at least I'm not taking damage. But here I'm debating if I want to set up on this Rotom, but then I remember that he is Discharge. If he was Thunderbolt, I would set up all over this thing, but he is Discharge. He's going for Paras. He's going for the Para Hacks. Luckily, we get rewarded for once and not get paralyzed, which is super nice, as we can just remove of this Rotom. I'm not going to get greedy, especially on something that could easily hacks me out to death, just based on the nature of this game. This game has been absolute shit, so I'm going to remove of this Rotom as quickly as I can, as he is trying to figure out an out. But essentially, I've played my cards in a way that he cannot get an out unless he PP stalls me out of taunts. And if he were to PP stall me out of taunts, I think he would actually run out of time, just based on how much time I have and how little sacks he has to Mew. I don't think he have enough pieces to sufficiently stall me out. I'm going to store power here just to get rid of the Rotom, as he does go into Lele. This isn't doing a whole lot to Lele, but since the Psychic Terrain is boosting it, it's free, and he's going to reveal to be Scarf to me, as my Mew has enough speed to outspeed Tapu Lele, but he outspeeds me, and the Tailwind's gone, obviously, so he's going to reveal to be Scarfed, which I'm fine with, as Scarf Lele is doing no type of damage to me, as I can get to +4. +4 guarantees the 2-hit KO, I believe, on Fizz Def Lantern. whereas right now it's a roll in my favor, but this guarantees it with the +4. So I'm going to Soft Boiled, and then I'm going to Cosmic Power, and then I'm going to Soft Boiled again, and then I'm going to get rid of this Lele. I'm okay getting rid of the Psychic Terrain. I don't need it for anything, especially because I'm setting myself up to win outside of Psychic Terrain. He's going to Shadow Ball, as I'm going to Cosmic Power, gets a +4, and at this point it's kind of GG. Mew is setting him. I set up Mew in a perfect position, and his only way out is to Tailwind, catch me with a Tailwind turn at some point. But the higher I'm setting up, the less damage Kartana's doing with a knockoff, and the less risk I have. I Soft Boiled to get as high as amount as possible, just to keep my Mew as healthy as possible to avoid some sort of knockoff crit from Kartana, as he is going to Shadow Ball again, and he's going to get the 10% Spidef drop, which kind of sucks, because Stored Power obviously bases its damage off my boosts, and I kind of needed that extra boost, but it's not the end of the world. It kind of sucks, but, you know, he's gotten so much. Did you really have to get the 10% Spidef drop as well? But it is what it is. So here, he's going to try and go into Arcanine, play off me choking and get the Toxic off. I have to taunt here easily. If he has Roar, if he has Toxic, if he has anything like that, it just prevents me from losing my Mew and just bullying him. So I'm going to taunt just to prevent this Arcanine from bullying me. Obviously, setting up my Mew to win and just going on from there. Can't Toxic me, as now I can Store Power again. And at this point, I'm really looking at time as well. He's figuring out his options, but if I'm perfectly okay going to timer, he's going to Flamethrower me. As this does no type of damage, I'm going to Soft Boiled here, as I'm actually okay Soft Boiling his Arcanine, because if Arcanine crits me, he won't kill me. Arcanine is not very powerful. If he crits me, it'll do a lot, but I'll be able to Soft Boil off the damage, and unless he gets crit back to back, I'll be able to just out damage or out heal Arcanine and be absolutely fine. So I'm okay with Soft Boiling here to get as high amount of health as possible, and then removing of Arcanine next turn. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to Soft Boiled, as he's going to Flamethrower here, and he's going to give me the best gift we've had all game. He's going to burn me, which, again, another 10% chance, by the way, in case anyone's counting at home, another 10% chance. He's going to burn me, which is super nice, because that takes out the possibility of Noivern being able to Toxic me, which I don't think he has at this point, because he would have went into it. But if he has it for some reason, if he hasn't thought about Toxic on Noivern or whatever, he can't talk to me. He can't talk to me on Lantern, which means I can just spam Store Power for the rest of the game. Store Power and Soft Boiled. I don't have to click Taunt anymore, therefore stalling another turn, risking a T-Bolt crit or a Scald crit or anything like that from Lantern, and just making the game a little bit harder. So really nice for me. No longer have to risk getting poisoned. Obviously, I would like to... It also takes out his Tailwind shenanigans with Kartana. I no longer have to play around that. As I'm going to Store Power, remove the Arcanine. I can't get any higher than where I'm at. So right now, this is as high as I can get right now, because of Flamethrower and Burn. And right now, he's going to go into Kartana. And at this point, it's game. Even if he Tailwinds here, he can't do anything about it. So right now, he's going to just go for the knockoff and get damage off. But Mew is sitting in such a good spot to win the game that it wouldn't be a JustKurt sweep if he didn't get crit, right? It just, you know, because he didn't get enough this game, you know. He only got 3 paras on my Licky and a flinch on Cinderace. What else did he get? And he got a crit on Tangrowth, and he got the Flamethrower burn, and he got the Spidef drop. Just because he didn't get enough, you know, I really felt bad for Meta at this point in the game, because, you know, I felt like I had been harassing him. He hadn't gotten enough against me. He had only gotten 3 paras. Dude, I got a Protect off. Like, that made him click another Air Slash and risk a miss. He didn't miss, but it made me feel really bad for him. So he gets rewarded with the crit on the knockoff on the one turn that he needed it. Obviously, I'm very sarcastic. Obviously, I'm very pissed off right now. And obviously, we should be 4-2. But instead, we're going to fall to 3-3. Because right now, MetaMech has the easiest out of his life. As I go Cinderace and Revenge his Kartana. The only way I can win this at this point is if he hard throws, goes into Noivern, and I crit the Noivern hard. That is my only way of winning. And even then, it's not guaranteed, because I don't know if I can beat what's left in the back. I might be able to with Urshifu. But if he sacks Kartana here to my Cinderace, he wins the game. So, and I don't even have enough pieces to stall him out of time. So there's no point in me sitting around, because if he clicks his move fast, he's fine. So I'm just going to Flare Blitz. He's going to make the right play, sack Kartana off, and now he wins the game with Noivern, because right now I have an Urshifu who's not faster, I have a Cinderace who is in range of Air Slash, and I have a Tangrowth who is going to die to Air Slash because he is a Tangrowth. So, yeah. Thanks, game. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun, you know, fighting an uphill battle this entire game. GG's to Meta, though. He played the non-Haxy turns very well. I think he played very well, and he played how he needed to. I think the Tailwind turns with Kartana were actually a strat that I think some people wouldn't have thought of in the moment, in terms of like getting the Tailwind off and then making the double to get the Toxic off on me. I saw the Tailwind and I knew that was his only out, especially knowing that Arcanine had Toxic on it, and knowing that Lantern had Toxic on it as well. So I knew that was his out. So I just kind of had to play around that. So it is what it is, though. He played very well, and hey, hacks it is what it is sometimes. So we followed the 3-3. Next week we play Gokey Gamer, coach of the Milwaukee Medichams. We really need to pick up a dub. We have been absolutely slacking in IBA. Even if you don't count this, I feel like I should have my other 2 wins. Not because I got hacks in the other 2. I think I played like absolute dog in my other 2 losses, which is 100% on me. But it's not the expectation I went into IBA with. I expected a lot more out of myself. Because I know what I can do. I know my skill level. I know what I've accomplished. And I'm not performing up to par, and I know that's not a good look for me. It's not a good look for you guys, and it's just it's not good for me overall. So hopefully, not even hopefully, because I've already recorded the game. We've already played it. I know that next week Facecam is back, my recording is there, and everything is back, and there's no more scuffed background. But I need something to put in the background because the dimensions were right. So yeah, GG's to Meta. I'm sorry I'm a little bit bitter. It is what it is. What else can you be after a game like that when you physically can't do anything more? And yeah, that's that. So if you guys enjoyed today's Wi-Fi battle, please hit the like button and the subscribe button if you guys are new here. And with that, I will see you guys next week. So with that, my name's Kurt, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. I'm out.